Namaste Saraswati Devi Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Sri Krishna Caitanya Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Nama Krishna Gopala Govinda Ram Mokha Karoti Vajalam Yate Vatavahan Mande Paramananda Vadavam Hari Om Tat Sat. So this is the continuation of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book.
So Guru Maharaj is continuing a compilation of a Chaitanya book he is making. Krishna Chaitanya book.
And this, just like the Krishna book, these are different 10 books of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and teachings.
So just like the Krishna book, Maharaj is making the pastimes and teachings of Lord Chaitanya from 10 different other books on Lord Chaitanya.
Reading what? This is not, doesn't show the verse. It doesn't show the verse.
Oh yeah, the number of the verse.
Chaitanya Bhagavata.
Today we are reading from the Caitanya Bhagavata, Antya-khanda 5.635.
From the section.
And this section of the chapter, the title is By the Mercy of Nityananda, the dacoit leader obtains love of Krishna, and it's under this section, the pastimes of Nityananda.
Okay, now, who's going to read the Bengali? I can read it, but...
So Maharaj can read the Bengali, but is there anyone else who can read it?
Yeah, read it. You all right? So, make it as big as also.
Make it as big as possible.
And then Lord Nityananda Chandra is the incarnation of mercy.
Lord Nityananda Chandra is the incarnation of mercy.
Hearing the prayers of the dacoit leader,
Hearing the prayers of the dacoit leader,
he delivered those dacoits.
he delivered those dacoits.
Dacoit means armed robbers.
So dacoit also means armed robbers.
And Lord Nityananda, he has a great sense of humor.
So Lord Nityananda, he has a great sense of humor.
And he's also mercy personified.
He is also mercy personified.
So, I was telling some of this pastime when they arrived.
So I was telling some of this pastime when we arrived.
See, Lord Chaitanya had requested, he took sannyas. So he was dressed very austere.
So Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas and he was dressed very austere.
He told Lord Nityananda to dress opulently as a call her leader, king.
So he told Lord Nityananda to dress opulently as a coward leader, a king.
So Lord Nityananda, he had diamond earrings.
So Lord Nityananda, he has diamond earrings,
Pearl necklace.
he has pearl necklace.
Also other necklaces of gold and jewels.
So he also has other necklaces of gold and jewels,
Armbands of gold and jewels.
armbands of gold and jewels.
On every finger a ring
On every finger he has rings
with jewels.
with jewels,
Ankle bells.
ankle bells.
So a group of dacoits, they saw this as a great mercy of the goddess Chandi.
So then there's a group of dacoits, they arrived and they saw these jewels and they're thinking, wow, this is the great mercy of the goddess Chandi.
We're getting millions in one place.
So we're getting millions in one place.
We're just steal from Lord Nityananda
We're going
jewels.
to steal from Lord Nityananda all these jewels.
And we'll have incalculable wealth.
And we're going to have incalculable wealth.
Chandi Gita.
Mahachandi ki jai.
The dacoits, the armed robbers in India, they worship Chandi.
So the dacoits, the armed robbers in India, they worship the goddess Chandi,
Who is the incarnation of Durga in the mode of ignorance.
So who is the incarnation of Durga in the mode of ignorance?
Or essential.
Sorry?
So the dacoits, the leader of the dacoits was a very sinful person born in a Brahmin family.
So the leader of these dacoits, he was a very sinful person, but he was born in the Brahmin family.
Normally Brahmins are merciful,
So normally Brahmins are merciful,
but he was a serial killer.
but he was a serial killer.
He was cold-hearted.
He was cold-hearted.
Kill in cold blood.
He could kill in cold blood.
And he told the dacoits that now is our chance. We got all the gold, all the jewels in one place.
So he was telling the other dacoits, so now is our chance. We got all the gold, all the jewels in one place.
And they all got armed up.
So they all got armed up.
Swords, shields, daggers.
Swords,
tridents.
shields, daggers, tridents.
Are ready.
They were ready. So that's where we are at now.
And no, that's not where we are.
Oh, sorry.
Then they went to the house where Lord Nityananda was staying.
So then they went to the house where Lord Nityananda was staying.
So he sent someone to peek in the window and go as a spy.
So they sent someone to peek as a spy.
And Lord Nityananda was taking prasad.
So there Lord Nityananda was taking prasad.
And around him there are various devotees, associates who are chanting and ecstasy.
So around Lord Nityananda there was various associates, there were devotees, they were chanting and in ecstasy.
One of them was roaring.
Some of them were roaring.
Gauranga!
Gauranga!
Gauranga! Nityananda! Spy, he went back.
So the spy, he went back.
He said Bengali, Bhagavata.
Sorry, what was it? He said in Bengali.
It's very slang. Eating his rice.
Oh, he said he went back and he told his leader, Bhat Kachi. It means, it's like a slang term in Bengali, he's eating his rice.
Other things, like we say, take prasad or annakache.
So we say,
Gross people.
so we say like we take prasad or anna kachi, but there he's like, it's a slanged way of saying it in Bengali.
Anyway, he said he's surrounded by devotees, by people, and they're all awake, and they're not chanting and dancing.
So anyways, he was saying that he's surrounded by people, they're awake, they're chanting and dancing.
And the leader, he don't worry, they'll eat and sleep.
So the leader was saying, it's all right, they'll eat, then they'll sleep.
Then they'll do our job.
Then we're going to do our job.
And let's go and sit down and wait for them.
So let's go and sit down somewhere and wait for them.
So they sat under a tree,
So they sat under a tree.
and they're discussing. One said, I'll steal his diamond earrings.
So then they were like discussing amongst themselves. One of them said, I'll steal his diamond earrings.
I said, I'll steal his pearl necklace.
So another said, I'll steal his pearl necklace.
Like that, they're meditating. One said, I'll steal his silver ankle bells.
So then like this, they were all meditating. And another was saying, I'll steal his silver ankle bells.
And I was trying to, they're really, somehow, one Nityananda spread his illusory potency over them.
So actually somehow Lord Nityananda spread his illusionary potency over them.
And they all fall asleep.
And they all fall asleep like this.
Then the sun rose,
So then the sun rose,
and they were still sleeping.
and they were still sleeping.
And the crows started making their beautiful song.
So the crows, then they started making their beautiful song,
And they woke up.
and they woke up.
Everyone said, what? You're sleeping.
So everyone woke up, and they were all saying to each other, you're sleeping.
One said, yeah, you're wide awake, huh?
Then he was saying, oh, you were wide awake, right?
And they had all their arms daylight. They couldn't go back, and then they caught, or they hid their arms.
So they had all their arms with them, and they were like, they're going to get caught, so they had quickly hid their arms,
And they went back.
and they went back.
That's because we didn't worship Chandi,
So one of them said, that's because we didn't worship
the
Chandi.
leader.
The leader, he said
We
that.
have to offer meat and wine
So then they're saying we have to offer meat and wine to Lord Chandi.
once a month. So then next day they worshiped Chandi. They went ready with all their arms.
So then it was saying that they worshipped Chandi with all their arms as well.
And they saw there were soldiers surrounding the house.
So then they saw at Lord Nityananda's house, there was these soldiers surrounding the house.
Each soldier was like superhuman.
So each shoulder was like superhuman.
He could look like he could kill 100 people if he had to.
It looked like each one of them could kill 100 people if they wanted to.
So they said, we stay here, we got caught.
So they were saying, okay, if we stay here, we'll get caught.
Maybe some king is coming to see the Avadut, and they brought his whole infantry.
So maybe some king came to see the Avadut, and he brought his whole inventory.
We'll go back, and they leave, they'll come again.
We'll go back, and when they leave, we'll come again.
And then they went home, came back after a week or 10 days.
So then they went home and came back after a week or 10 days.
So Nityananda, each time he playing another joke on them.
So Lord Nityananda, each time he was playing a joke on them.
Now they're getting out with their arms all ready to go.
So they came with their arms ready to go.
They're feeding.
And then they saw he was feeding.
Doing their robbery.
Oh, doing their robbery.
Already.
They were ready.
But suddenly a cloud came over it became pitch dark.
So this is the third time they came, and suddenly third time, and they saw that suddenly there was a cloud came over, and it was suddenly pitch dark.
They couldn't see, they're like blind.
They couldn't see. They were like blind.
They couldn't use torches. They didn't have flashlights in those days.
They couldn't use torches. They didn't have flashlights those days.
And they'd be exposed.
They would be exposed.
And around the house, there was a ditch.
And around the house, there was actually a ditch.
So some fell in the ditch.
So some of them actually fell in the ditch.
Some fell in a hole where they threw the remnants of food. And
some fell in a hole where they throw the remnants of food and stuff.
Bit by leeches and insects.
And they were all the time being bit by leeches and insects.
And some fell in a nearby canal, a call.
So some of them fell in a canal nearby.
They broke their bones.
And actually broke their bones.
So great difficulty.
So they were suffering great difficulty.
Then Indra sent rain.
Then Indra, he sent rain.
And hailstones.
And even hailstorms.
Wow, they were suffering like anything.
They were really suffering like anything.
They wanted to cause harm on Lord Nityananda, but he was playing harm on them.
They wanted to cause harm on Lord Nityananda, but he was playing harm on them.
Somehow they escaped.
Somehow they escaped.
And then the leader of the dacoits, leader of the armed robbers.
So then the leader of the dacoits, the leader of the armed robbers,
he got mercy of Lord Nityananda.
He got the mercy of Lord Nityananda.
And in the Gita, Krishna says, I give remembrance, forgetfulness.
So we know, like in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Krishna says, I give remembrance,
forgetfulness,
and forgetfulness.
And so the dacoit leader, after going through all these experiences, his heart softened, and he remembered.
So then the dacoit leader, after going through all these sufferings, his heart suffered, and then he remembered.
And he went to Lord Nityananda and said, "Not a great sinner."
So then he went to Lord Nityananda, and he said, I'm a great sinner.
And even if we trip and fall, we fall on the ground. We have to pick ourselves up on the ground.
He fell on the ground?
If we fall on the ground,
okay.
We have to take shelter on the ground.
Okay.
To stand up.
So Maharaj is saying if we fall on the ground, we have to take shelter of the ground as well to stand up.
I wanted to harm you, and it was appropriate that we had to suffer so much.
So he was saying that I wanted to harm you, but I think it was appropriate that we had to suffer so much.
But now I realize that you're actually the Supreme Lord.
So now I realize that you are actually the Supreme Lord.
So one day I asked what to do, because some people said he may be faking it.
So so he was asking Lord Nityananda, what shall I do? Because some
of the people were telling Nityananda that he's a thief.
So some of the people around, they were telling Lord Nityananda that he's a thief. He's maybe faking it.
Lord Nityananda asked him, what is your realization?
So Lord Nityananda asked him, what is your realizations?
So I came to steal from you, to harm you.
So he said, I came to steal from you, to harm you.
And I should go in the Ganges and take my life.
And he was saying, I should go to the Ganges and take my life.
And he was crying and rolling on the ground.
He was crying, he was rolling on the ground.
And now we're hearing, well, this is after, this is a short version, after hearing a dacoit leader.
So
this is where we are.
This is where we are. I was just summarizing. So this is after Nityananda hears from the dacoit leader.
All right, next verse.
So now we're on Caitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.636.
I can't read it. Can you make it bigger?
Make it a little bigger, please.
Little big.
Enough that it's fitting in the screen.
So, in this way, all the armed robbers, they're all thinking.
So in this way, all the armed robbers, they were all thinking.
And both of their eyes open.
And both of their eyes opened.
So, not only the Dacoit leader, the serial killer, got these realizations, but all the thieves.
So not only the dacoit leader, the serial killer, but all the other dacoits,
They got this realization.
they got this realization.
Caitanya Bhagavata,
So next, Caitanya Bhagavat, Antikanda 5.637.
by the influence of taking shelter of Lord Nityananda Swarupa,
By the influence of taking shelter of Lord Nityananda Swarup,
the rainstorm, the hailstorms did not fall on anyone's bodies.
the rainstorm, the hailstorm did not fall on anyone's bodies. Chaitanya Bhagavat.
So in other words, since they took shelter of Lord Nityananda, they admitted their sin, their fault.
So
They were
since,
saved from the hailstorm, rainstorm.
so since they took shelter of Lord Nityananda, then they admitted their sins, their faults. So then they were saved from the hailstorms, the rainstorm. Next, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antikanda 5.638.
So, because they had surrendered to Lord Nityananda,
So because they had surrendered to Lord Nityananda,
after a while they could see the path.
so after a while they could see the path.
And all the Dacoits, at the last test had been so severe, they're almost dead.
So all the dacoits, the last test was so severe that they almost didn't survive.
And all of them went home away from there to their homes.
So all of them then went home away from there to their homes. So Chaitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 5.639.
And all of them went home in this way. The Dacoits immediately took bath in the holy river Ganges.
So after all of them went home in this way, the dacoits immediately took bath in the holy Ganges water. Caitanya Bhagavata Antikanda 5.640.
দস্যু সেনাপতি দ্বিজের নিত্যানন্দ চরণে উদ্ধারার্থী প্রার্থনা ও নিত্যানন্দ কৃপায় প্রেম ভক্তি লাভ। দস্যু সেনাপতি দ্বিজ কান্দিতে কান্দিতে নিত্যানন্দ চরণে আইলা সেই মতে।
So the leader of the dacoits, they call him as a Senapati of the dacoits. That means the general, the commander of the dacoits.
So the leader of the dacoits, they call him the Senapati dacoit, which means like the general of the dacoits.
He's born in a Brahmin family.
He's born in a Brahmin family.
He was crying. He came to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
He was crying and he came to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
Haribo!
Haribo!
Next verse.
Chaitanya Bhagavata Antikanda 5.641.
বসিয়া আছেন নিত্যানন্দ বিশ্বনাথ পতিত জনের করি শুভ দৃষ্টিপাত।
Lord Nityananda, the Lord of the universe, he was sitting, casting his auspicious glance
Lord Nityananda, the Lord of the universe, he was sitting casting his auspicious glance
on the fallen souls.
on the fallen souls.
Hey Lord, Caitanya had told Lord Nityananda that you should go back to Bengal.
So Lord Chaitanya, he had told Lord Nityananda that he should go back to Bengal.
We have descended from the spiritual world. They promised me to deliver 4 types of people.
He said, we have descended from the spiritual world. We promise to deliver 4 types of people
Who are normally not delivered.
who are normally not delivered.
The foolish,
The foolish,
the lowborn,
the low-born,
the fallen,
the fallen,
and the distressed.
and the distressed.
So, if we're both here, we'll do that.
So if we
We
are
are both here in Jagannath Puri, we'll do that.
okay, so Lord Chaitanya was saying if we are both here, then who will do that?
So, you should go back and continue the preaching.
So you should go back and continue your preaching.
So, Lord Nityananda went back, and this is what happened.
So then,
There were many things.
so Lord Nityananda, he went back and like this is what happened. There were many other things that happened.
He was first in Panihati.
There was the pastime of Panihati.
Then he went to all the in Adi Saptagram, all the business people.
In Adi Saptagram, he visited all the business people.
Are normally busy making money,
Normally, they are busy making money.
and he got all of them to chant Hare Krishna,
And he got all of them to chant Hare Krishna.
and one of them is the forefather of Srila Prabhupada.
And one of them is the forefather of Srila Prabhupada.
So, like this, then he went back to Navadvip. He saw Mother Sachi,
So he went back to Navadvip, he saw Mother Sachi,
and he was doing his pastime in Navadvip.
and so he was doing his pastimes in Navadvip.
And all the dacoits, the armed robbers, He saw he had so much wealth, and they thought, we'll steal from him.
So all the dacoits, they saw he had so much wealth, they thought they would steal from him.
And so now after reading through these 3 tests, he's sitting there giving out his mercy.
So after them going through these 3 tests, he is sitting there giving out his mercy. Caitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.642.
চতুর্দিকে ভক্তগণ করে হরিধ্বনি
Haribo!
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 আনন্দে হুঙ্কার করে অবধূত মণি
Huh?
Right at the right time, Haribo.
Haribo!
Haribo! Just as he said,
Nitai
Nitai Gaur!
Rukmini Dwarkadish.
Rukmini Dwarkanath Ki!
Dwarkadish, Jagannath.
Jagadat Baladev Subhadra Ki!
Devotees in the 4 directions are chanting the holy name of Hari.
So the devotees in the 4 directions were chanting the names of Hari.
Haribo!
Haribo!
The crushed jewel of the Avadutas, Lord Nityananda. He roared in ecstasy.
The crest jewels of the Avadutas, the crest jewels of the avatar,
Jewel, what?
the crest jewel of the Avadutas, he roared in ecstasy.
Haribo! You're so fortunate that you have Nitai Gaur here.
You are so fortunate that you have Nitai Gaur here.
They come simply to deliver the 4 types of people that I mentioned.
They come simply to deliver the 4 types of people that I have mentioned.
Is there anyone like that in North America?
Is there anyone like that in North America?
People who think they're the body,
People think they're the bodies.
foolish. People are low-born.
People are low-born.
People who are fallen.
People who are fallen
Break the 4 principles.
break the 4 principles,
Previously, at least.
previously at least.
And people are distressed
People are distressed
in the material world.
in the material world.
They lose their loved ones
They lose their loved ones
and suffer diseases.
and suffer diseases.
So somehow, I tell all the people in Bombay, they go around Ras Bihari and Lita Visaga, and sit around Lakshman Hanuman. The Nitai Gaur altar, Gaur Nitai, usually are somewhat empty.
So in Bombay, I would be telling the people, I've been seeing that they go to Radha Ras Bihari, Lalita Vishaka, Ram Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman, and usually I see in the altar of Gaur Nitai, it's somewhat empty.
Actually, it's only when the mercy of Nitai Gaur that we can worship Rukmini Dwarkadish and Jagannath.
But actually, it is only by the mercy of Nitai Gaur that we can worship Radha, Rukmini, Dwarkadish, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra.
Haribo!
Haribo!
Nitai Gaur!
Nitai Gauranga!
Prabhupada was saying how one time Narad Muni and different devas, they came to watch how the devotees, the machas, the javanas were chanting Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada was saying one time, he saw how Narada Muni had actually once come and was seeing how the malechas and yavanas were dancing
and chanting
and
Hare
chanting
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If you ever feel some special ecstasy, and maybe because some of the devas are not running, someone watching.
Maybe if you ever feel some special ecstasy, maybe it's because some of the devas or Narada Muni is watching. So continue from the Caitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda 5.643.
সেই মহাদস্যু দ্বিজ হেনই সময় ত্রাহি বলি বাহু তুলি দণ্ডবত হয়।
So at that time, when Lord Nityananda's casting his merciful glance
So at that time when Lord Nityananda was casting his merciful glance
on all the fallen souls,
on all the fallen souls,
the great Dacoit leader, Brahmana,
the leader, the Brahmana,
he arrived there.
he arrived there.
And raising his two arms, he called out,
And raising his two arms like this, he called out,
"Please protect me!"
"Please protect me!"
And offered his prostrate obeisances.
And offered his prostrate obeisances. Chaitanya,
This is a hard-hearted serial killer, cold-hearted guy, completely confirmed.
this is a hard-hearted serial killer, cold-hearted. He got completely reformed
by the mercy of Lord Nityananda.
by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Caitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda 5.644.
আপাদমস্তকে পুলকিত সমগ্র নিরাবধি অশ্রুধারা বহে মহাকম্প।
From his head to his feet, the hairs and all the limbs of his body
From his head to his feet, the hair on all the limbs of his body
stood on end.
stood on end.
Constantly, streams of tears flowed from his eyes.
Constantly, streams of tears flowed from his eyes.
His body trembled greatly.
His body trembled greatly.
This was the change of this cold-hearted Dacoit
This was the
leader.
change of this cold-hearted dacoit leader.
This was the mercy of Lord Nityananda.
This was the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda 5.645.
হুঙ্কার গর্জন নিরবধি করে প্রেমে বাহ্য নাহি জানে বিগ্রহ করয়ে ক্রন্দনে।
The Dacoit commander, he constantly roared the Harinam
The dacoit commander, he constantly roared the Harinam
and thundered in ecstatic love.
and sounded in ecstatic love.
The
Thundered.
The Brahmana did not have any external consciousness
The Brahmana did not have any external consciousness
of his body
of his body
as he cried,
as he cried. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda 5.646.
নিত্যানন্দ স্বরূপেরও প্রভাব দেখিয়া আপনা আপনি নাচে হর্ষিত হয়া।
seeing the opulence and influence of Lord Nityananda Swarup,
Seeing the opulence and influence of Lord Nityananda Swarup,
the Dacoit leader automatically all by himself began to dance
the dacoit leader automatically all by himself began to dance
and joy.
in joy.
You see, Lord Nityananda, he's not a stereotype.
You see, Lord Nityananda, he's not stereotype.
And Lord, we know how when I broke a bottle on his head,
So in the pastime of Jagai and Madai, we know how Madai, he broke the bottle of wine on his head.
and that Caitanya came with a Sudarshan chakra to kill him.
And Lord Chaitanya, he came with the Sudarshan chakra to kill him.
But Lord Nityananda said, just because you called me to bleed, does that mean I will not give you love for Godhead?
So Lord Nityananda, he said, just because you caused me to bleed, does that mean I will not give you love of Godhead?
And so I was saying, Madai, you just beat the guy. You call him to bleed. He's talking about love.
So
He's not an ordinary person.
Jagai was saying, look, Madai, he just beat the guy and now and caused him to bleed, and now he's talking about love.
He's talking to his brother, Jagai.
Jagai is talking to his brother Madai.
And then when Lord Caitanya heard that Nityananda was strict, he came there called Sudarshan.
So when Lord Chaitanya, he heard that Nityananda was struck, he called the Sudarshan.
And Lord Nityananda said, look at Jagai is, you promised to deliver all the fallen. If you don't deliver them, then what's the purpose of our coming?
So then Lord Nityananda was telling Lord Chaitanya that, look, you came to deliver the fallen. If you don't deliver them, then what's the purpose of our coming?
Future Kali Yuga, there'll be so many miscreants like this.
Because in Kali Yuga, there will be so many miscreants like this.
So every time Lord Nityananda has some different pastimes, not stereotype.
So every time Lord Nityananda has a different pastime, it's not stereotype.
So here, a gang of armed robbers,
So here it's a gang of armed robbers.
they came to attack Nityananda,
They came to attack Nityananda.
and he played different jokes on them.
And he's playing he played different jokes on them.
But finally, he really gave it to them bad.
He really gave them some.
He really gave it to them bad.
Oh, apparently he really gave it to them bad.
But they are robbers, and they're not like cultured people.
But they're armed robbers. They're not like cultured people.
And so he, on the time, on the time. Anyway, here's the next verse.
Anyways, here's the next verse. Caitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda 5.647.
রাহিবাব নিত্যানন্দ পতিত পাবন বাহুতুলি এই মত বলে ঘনে ঘন
Protect, O Lord Nityananda, deliverer of the fallen souls.
Protect, O Lord Nityananda, the deliverer of the fallen souls.
Raising his arms in this way, he said again and again,
Raising his arms in this way, he said again and again.
so he's begging, deliver me, protect me.
So he's begging, deliver me, protect me.
Now, we see that Lord Nityananda gave him mercy to have a complete change of heart.
So now we see that Lord Nityananda gave him mercy to have a complete change of heart.
I don't know, should I stop here and see the deities?
Should I stop? I don't know. Should I stop here and receive the deities?
How many more verses are
How many more verses are there in this chapter? Some devotees are saying you should stop now because tomorrow there's a class at 7:30 a.m. And then again, some are saying that
there? 7 more verses.
there's 7 more verses.
I can't hear.
There's a class tomorrow early, 7:30 a.m. Mahaprabhu is saying you should just finish 7 more verses. Mahaprabhu is saying finish the verses. Mahaprabhu is saying finish the 7 more verses. Caitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 5.648. Okay, we'll do this quick.
দেখি হইলেল সবে পরম বিস্মিত এমত দস্যুর কেন এমত চরিত
So seeing this, everyone became greatly astonished.
So seeing this, everyone became greatly astonished.
Such a direct leader.
Such a dacoit leader.
How his action has become like this.
How his action has become like this.
I mean, he's crying and begging for mercy.
I mean, he's crying, he's now begging for mercy. Caitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 5.649.
কেহ বলে মায়াবা করিয়া আসিয়াছে কোন পাক করিয়া বা হানা দেয় পাছে
Well, somebody said, maybe it's come and deception, finding some opportunity in an attack later.
So someone was saying maybe he has come in deception, finding some opportunity, and then he will attack later.
Purport by Bhakti Siddhanta.
So there's a short purport by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he's by nature, duplicitous people externally exhibit simplicity and humility, but when the opportunity arises, they engage in illicit activities.
There's a saying in Bengali, Ati Bhakti Chora Lakhan.
So there's a saying in Bengali, Ati Bhakti Chorer Lakhon.
Too much bhakti will be a sign of a thief.
Too much bhakti could be a sign of a thief.
How this leader suddenly changes so much, maybe he's deceiving.
How this leader suddenly changed so much, maybe he's deceiving.
So
Caitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 5.650.
কেহ বলে নিত্যানন্দ পতিত পাবন কৃপায় ইহার বা হইল ভালো মন
someone else said, Lord Nityananda is the deliverer of the fallen souls.
Then someone else said, Lord Nityananda is the deliverer of the fallen souls.
By his mercy, this dacoit's heart has become good.
By his mercy, this dacoit's heart has become good. Caitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 5.651.
Real quick.
quick.
পূর্ব দস্যু বিপ্রের প্রেমধিকার দর্শনে নিত্যানন্দের বিপ্রকে আমূল বৃত্তান্ত জিজ্ঞাসা। বিপ্রের অত্যন্ত প্রেম বিকার দেখিয়া জিজ্ঞাসিল নিত্যানন্দ ঈশত হাসিয়া।
So I'm seeing the great transformations of ecstatic love
So seeing the great transformations of ecstatic love
in that Brahmana thief,
in that Brahmana thief,
Lord Nityananda slightly smiled
Lord Nityananda slightly smiled
and inquired from him.
and inquired from him.
I told part of the
I told part of the next. Caitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.652.
প্রভু বলে কহ নিজ কি তোমার রীত, বড় তো তোমার দেখি অদ্ভুত চরিত।
So Lord Nityananda said, tell me, oh Brahmana, what kind of behavior is this?
So Lord Nityananda told the Brahmana, tell me, Brahmana, what kind of behavior is this?
I see that your behavior appears most wonderful in character.
I see that your behavior appears most wonderful in character. Chaitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.653.
কি দেখিলা কি শুনিলা কৃষ্ণ অনুভব, কিছু চিন্তা নাহি অপ পটে কহ সব।
What did you see? What did you hear about your realization about Krishna?
What did you see? What did you hear? Your realization about Krishna.
Tell something of this,
Tell something of this.
but nothing to worry about.
There's nothing to worry about.
Tell everything openly.
Tell everything openly. Chaitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.654.
শুনিয়া প্রভুর বাক্য সুকৃতি ব্রাহ্মণ, কহিতে না পারে কিছু করে ক্রন্দন।
Hearing Lord Nityananda's words,
Hearing Lord Nityananda's words,
a pious Brahmin
the pious Brahmana
could not say anything.
could not say anything.
He simply cried.
He simply cried.
It's very significant. Previously, they described the Brahmin as a sinful Brahmin.
It's very significant here because previously they described the Brahmana as a sinful Brahmana.
Now they're saying Sukriti Vija,
So now they're saying Sukriti Bija,
pious Brahmin.
pious Brahmana. Chaitanya Bhagavata Antyakanda 5.655.
গড়াগড়ি যায় করি সকল অঙ্গনে, হাসে কান্দে নাচে গায় আপনা আপনে।
Flying on the ground,
Falling on the ground,
he rolled about throughout the courtyard,
he rolled about throughout the courtyard,
all by himself.
all by himself.
He laughed, cried, danced,
He laughed, he cried, danced,
and sang.
insane, and singing. Thus ends the chapter entitled, By the mercy of Nityananda, the dacoit leader obtains love of Krishna, under the section, the pastime of Nityananda.
So I read these pastimes every day in India.
So I read these pastimes every day in India.
And my the secretaries who do the book publishing,
So in my secretaries, they're doing the book publishing.
they say that I should finish the book. I could continue to translate during the my trip to USA.
So they said I should finish the book and even continue to translate in my trip to USA.
So I hope it's all right.
So I hope it was all right.
I never heard these pastimes before.
I never heard these pastimes before.
Lord Nityananda, he got the whole gang of robbers, like mafia,
He got how Lord Nityananda, he got the whole gang of robbers like mafia
to surrender.
to surrender.
Gave them love,
Gave them love of Krishna.
gives us some hope.
Gives us some hope.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Any questions?
Any questions? Is there another mic or shall I just pass this one?
So, did Lord Nityananda gave love of Krishna just by his presence, because he did not tell them to love Krishna or chant name of Krishna? Just by his presence, did he give them love of Krishna?
Simply by his presence, because it seems that he didn't tell them to chant Krishna's name and like that.
Stay tuned in.
They stay tuned in.
Of course, just like his glance, I saw that some people in Panihati, he just glanced, wherever he looked, they become ecstatic in love of Godhead.
Of course, we saw that in Panihati, that just by his glance, they could get ecstatic love of Godhead.
So it's true
So it's true.
that even if he doesn't say anything, he can give people love for Krishna.
That even if he doesn't say anything, he could give love of Krishna.
But of course, this person was a Brahmana. He knew something about Krishna, but he was evil.
Of course, this situation, he was a Brahmana. He knew something about Krishna, but he was evil.
And Lord Nityananda changed his heart.
And so Lord Nityananda changed his heart.
Maharaj, I have a question. I was wondering, at what age did you first start your spiritual journey with Prabhupada?
I was wondering, at what age did you first start your journey with Srila Prabhupada?
What age?
Who are you when you first started your journey with Srila Prabhupada?
19.
19.
Thank you.
Maharaj took sannyas at 21. Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, that was my introduction. Sorry, Maharaj didn't say that. That was me.
All right. Thank you very much. Any ladies got a question?
Any ladies have any questions?
Oh, no.
Anyone from here?
She had her hand up.
She has her hand.
No, she is.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for this wonderful class. So, when you are around us, our bhakti gets boost up. But when you are not around us, sometimes we feel um, very down. So, how to keep this up? Like,
How do we,
how to keep this up like this?
Are you
How to
saying
keep-
how do we keep it up?
Yeah, keep enthusiasm up. How do we keep, even when you're not around?
I read the books of Srila Prabhupada.
So, I personally read the books of Srila Prabhupada.
Actually, I can't read much
I actually even can't read much.
because of my stroke. My eyes wobble a lot.
Since my stroke, my eye wobbles a lot.
So I have someone read to me in the evening,
So I have someone read to me every evening.
and the examination board offered me a free honorary degrees.
So the examination board from the Mayapur Academy, they offered me a free honorary degrees.
I said no. I was show a good example for the devotees.
So then I said, no, I want to show a good example for the devotees.
I'll read and I'll study and I'll take the test.
I'll read, I'll study, and I'll take the test.
So this year I got my Bhakti Vaibhav.
So this year I got my Bhakti Vaibhav.
They give me a huge Bhakti Vaibhav.
They gave me this huge Bhakti Vaibhav certificate.
I already started on my Bhakti Vedanta.
Now I'm studying on my Bhakti Vedanta.
I finished one. Quick.
Quick. I want to see the DDs.
So read books.
Anyways, so read Srila Prabhupada's books.
And I'm trying to give this book.
So I'm also trying to give this book. Swava said he would publish it in the BBT. It has to go through the board.
But you can tell them that you think it's a good book.
You can tell him that if you think it's a good book.
They all of our tries.
So a couple announcements. We have some maha cookies here for whoever wants to come. We'll distribute cookies. And tomorrow Guru Maharaj will be, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj will be giving class at 7:45 a.m. here in the temple. And there will also be an evening program tomorrow afternoon.
Nice question.
Excellent room.